Good afternoon. I have been a women-owned small business owner since 2005, and like many other MSMEs, my entrepreneurial journey has been a series of failures and successes. For me, it was a process of trial and error, and I learned the hard way that hope is not a strategy. Sadly, along my journey, I have seen many small businesses fail, which caused me to wonder what it was that determined why and when a business would fail or succeed. In my opinion, the gap is acknowledging that failure is real and failure is required in order to learn. People are ashamed of failure, and we need to stop that. Here enters education. I believe had I been enrolled in an educational program designed for entrepreneurs, I could have saved enormous amounts of time, energy, and money. 5 years ago, I found my educational program through EO, an entrepreneurial organization, where I now sit on the board as learning chair. What I've learned through EO and continue to learn has saved my business and changed my life. I believe the future success of MSMEs requires education. The earlier, the better. And I see entrepreneurial education as a pathway to success. My response to the question is derived from my personal experiences, and then I also did some research, and I want to acknowledge the paper that I am referring to. And it is called Entrepreneurship and Education, What, Why, When, How? The Entrepreneurship 360 background paper written by Martin Lackas, and I've sprinkled in my own personal experience. Current trends in entrepreneurial teaching methodologies include teaching about, for, and through entrepreneurship. Teaching about entrepreneurship is a content-laden theoretical approach used to teach a general understanding of entrepreneurship and is often taught in higher education institutions. Teaching for entrepreneurship is an occupationally oriented approach, giving budding entrepreneurs requisite knowledge and skills, which in my opinion would have been extremely helpful early on in my personal entrepreneurial journey. Teaching through entrepreneurship is a process-based experience-driven approach allowing students to go through an actual entrepreneurial learning process. When examining the differences in pedagogical approaches between entrepreneurial education and other teaching methods such as project-based learning, problem-based learning, and service-based learning, it is shown that entrepreneurial education requires a combination of all three methodologies, focusing not only on problems, but also opportunities. In addition, entrepreneurial education requires authenticity. It uses iterative experimentation, real-world interaction, creates value to external stakeholders, uses collaboration and teamwork, requires work across extended periods of time, focuses on newness and innovativeness, and includes a risk of failure. I can personally attest to the accuracy of this statement. It is these rare features that explain why entrepreneurial education can trigger much higher levels of motivation, experience relevancy, engagement, and deep learning versus other pedagogical approaches. Appreciative inquiry is a theoretical framework originating from organizational behavior. It is useful in entrepreneurial education due to its emphasis on opportunities rather than problems. Entrepreneurship is defined as the crossroads between individuals and opportunities, therefore making appreciative inquiry and its radical framework implicitly anchored in entrepreneurship. Appreciative inquiry has been described as a method suitable for generating new ideas, triggering action, and a new lens for seeing old issues. By using appreciative inquiry, we can lead to questions such as, what methods have been successful before? What can we learn from what works well? How can we get more of what is good in the future? And what do we need to do to realize our dreams? These are questions I ask myself and my leadership team daily. A unique contribution of this theory, appreciative inquiry, is its strong capacity to infuse inspiration, joy, and motivation into its teams working with the value creation process, which often requires coping with change. And positive energy and motivation are key in a change process. People's resistance to change is well documented, and since change and risk are linked, people tend to be risk adverse as well, which is challenging to the entrepreneurial spirit. Entrepreneurial education, I believe, will help mitigate the risk associated with being an entrepreneur and therefore drive change. I must comment on the rarely stated reasons for entrepreneurial education, which is joy, engagement, creativity, and these relate to societal challenges. Since entrepreneurship is seen as a major engine for economic growth and job creation, entrepreneurial education is relevant and important. Entrepreneurial education is seen as a response to the increasingly globalized, uncertain, and complex world we live in, requiring all people and organizations in society to be increasingly equipped with entrepreneurial competencies. Globalization, innovation, and renewal requires entrepreneurial skills and abilities to thrive in our ever-changing world. An individual level, entrepreneurship allows for creation and creativity, which is the main source of joy and pride for people, which is important because the economic wealth of nations correlates with the happiness of its citizens. In addition, individual people can make a difference to society, and marginalized people can achieve economic success. On an organizational level, entrepreneurial firms play a crucial role in the changing market. Corporations can collaborate with small social entrepreneurship initiatives to create social value. On a societal level, a deregulated and flexible market requires people with higher level general skills, and social entrepreneurship addresses these problems in society so that the market economy has failed to address. Entrepreneurship and innovation are primary paths to growth and job creation. People need entrepreneurial skills and abilities to thrive in our ever-changing world. Entrepreneurial firms play a crucial role in changing market structure. Entrepreneurial education will empower MSMEs to successfully play a role in taking on important societal challenges, empowering people and organizations, creating social change for the public good. Thank you.